Education is a topic that is important for my country, Finland. Our seminar today is, as I said, a timely one. Yesterday, the new Pisa results were made public. For Finland's part, I would just like to say that I'm very happy that we have kept our place in the top tier, as we have done in every Pisa study so far since 2000. To me, that is a proof of consistency, as it's also the fact that our system continues to provide a very even quality of education.
Pisa was initiated in the Center for Education Research and Innovation, which is the OECD's kind of a think tank in early 1990s. I think it was 1993, when a group of countries came with this idea that we need an international instrument so that we can benchmark and compare countries' performance in science, reading and mathematics. Thanks to the OECD PISA data, it shows that Finland is performing better than the average. Yeah? So it has happened that at some point during the course of the last 3 or 4 decades, we have been passing everybody else. And here comes the question that what has happened? What did we do to make this possible? Our policy of teachers is again very different to many other countries. First of all, we insist that every teacher in Finnish school has to have master's degree. It doesn't matter what you teach, you cannot teach if you don't have master's degree from the Finnish university. This is from the OECD database, the number of teaching hours per year. And here you see the United States, and you see compare this to Finland. There's also almost a 50% difference between the teachers in Finland and in the United States. And a good question is that what are the Finnish teachers in different levels of education here that you see? What are they doing when your teachers are sweating in the classrooms? They're working on their curriculum development, they're working on the projects, they're developing their school improvement plans or whatever they do. They're working with parents or consulting students or so on. And secondly, all the Finnish teachers have to be treated like professionals, just like we are treating medical doctors. In other words, we have to trust them, we have to trust their judgment when we ask the question that, are your students learning or performing in your school? We are not employing the external standardized measures or tests to do this. We ask teachers. When people ask me that, how do you know in Finland that your students are learning in a school? And I always say that ask the teachers, they know. Just like you ask the medical doctor if he or she thinks that the patients are doing well.
We are really delighted to be here and to not only see the school or schools, but also ask you a lot of questions about, what the Finnish education system is like and how.
I had an amazing opportunity with some of my colleagues from the American Federation of Teachers a few weeks ago to visit some schools in Finland and to actually see and feel the texture of what was going on.
Most of the teachers, they do the work in the classroom where they teach, but if they don't have an own classroom, then they can also working here.
This is so different than in the United States, where teachers actually have their own office space, they have their own lockers, they have computers here, they have phones here. There's a professionalism about this that you
To me, it's not about the snapshot of the data. It's going behind the data and deconstructing it to figure out what to do. What I would say in America is that one of the things that we never do well is that we are ripe with lots and lots of, and Pasi said this, lots of examples of good practice, even of good policy, even of good implementation. What we don't do well is we don't sustain it and we don't replicate it. And so it is true, we have lots of good ideas, but how do we then do what countries like Finland do, which is having steady progress over time? This is what I think they do. They out-invest us in terms of a national commitment to student success and to also providing, we haven't talked about that at all today, the kind of wraparound services that children need in addition to instruction. We saw that in Finland very, very clearly in terms of meals that were provided, in terms of other kinds of services that were provided. They out-respect us in terms of the ways teachers are viewed, treated, trusted, and made part of decision-making. And they out-prepare us in terms of the attention given to teacher preparation, development, support, and retention. In our country, we put emphasis on the individual. And so all we have to do is give the individual teacher a snapshot of data, and then that individual teacher will figure it out by herself. And if she can't, we say that individual teacher should now be fired. And if she can, we say that individual teacher should now get a huge bonus or reward. And we also do that in terms of individual schools. What we say in our policy is, if an individual school is not working, now we say, let's close it and mass fire. That's essentially been our policy for the last 10 years. And there's been a lot of conflict around that policy. What I have learned from these other countries that do better than we do, and what I have learned from the places in the United States that I have had the honor to now see over the last 2.5 years, is collaboration really matters. I have never seen a successful school or system that doesn't have operationalized collaboration as the mode of engagement. Never. Not here and not anywhere in the universe, Pluto included. So under the countries, these other school systems create systems of support in the hows and in the implementation. They don't essentially say, you alone, teacher, do it by yourself. They create those systems. There is a mutual accountability here. So ultimately, what we see is that the schools and the districts that work, whether it be in high-performing countries or here, are ones that actually believe in collaboration, ones that believe in the development of teachers, ones that believe in providing teachers with the supports they need to do their jobs, ones that believe in collective responsibility, and ones that believe in terms of public engagement. And those are the lessons that I have actually learned from the Pisa results and from looking at the schools that are successful both in this country and around the world. Thank you very much.